I'm going to be just raw off the cut with you guys in this one and share with you probably like my number one pet peeve, right? Something that really grinds my gears, And that's just people that love to make up excuses or people that love to just lack responsibilities for their own actions. Let me explain. So, before I had my son, Oakley, obviously I was in shape, right? And I would always hear from people, just wait until you have kids. Wait until you have kids. Wait until you have your kids. You're not going to have a body like that anymore. Like, it's going to be way too hard. And sure, right? I guess it is tough, right? But at the end of the day, it's not like it's impossible, and that's the reality of this. And so then I have my son, and here I am still in shape, right? And he's growing older. And I hear from now older guys, oh, wait until your son's older. Just wait until you get older. Wait, just wait. And it's probably like the number one thing that pisses me off. And honestly, like, there is very few things that upset me in this world because, I mean, when you're somebody that has been through a lot in life, you always look for the glass being half full rather than half empty. But like, this is the one thing that really just gets underneath my skin and it's not in necessarily a thing that gets underneath my skin because it's like, hey, this person thinks that I'm going to get out of shape or thinks that whatever, it's just hard, etc. It gets underneath my skin because of that person's mindset and their self-fulfilling beliefs. But more so the fact that, like, and it's typically guys that tell me this, and it's typically fathers that tell me this, right? And it's just like, man, I hear it all the time online. And if I ever saw these guys face to face, I would gladly just love to just give them a little taste of reality, right? A little slap in the face, a little, drop kick them in the gut or something like that. Not to like harm them or hurt them by any means, but just the simple fact of like, they need to just literally be reborn, right? That's the best way to say it. They need a whole new mindset because, when I had my son, right, it was like, okay, hey, I'm grinding 10 times harder. And it's like in the gym, I'm grinding 10 times harder. And, somebody might say, oh, yeah, but Joe, that's easy for you to say. You have your own business. You can make your own schedule. What about the time when I was doing Heartletics on the side, right? What about the time when I was working 50 hours a week in corporate America and growing Heartletics on the side? I still made that sacrifice, waking up at 3:30 every single day, working out, putting my body first, putting my mindset first as well. Because, hey, at the end of the day, I know that it's going to require sacrifice. And then when I had Oakley, it was even more of a sacrifice, more of a grind, but it didn't slow down anything. In fact, it fueled the fire. It made me work 10 times harder simply because at the end of the day, I want to leave a legacy. I want him to remember me as, man, there goes my daddy, always doing push-ups and sit-ups. Hey, we're watching a movie in the living room. Joe's, daddy's always doing his push-ups and his bicycle crunches and whatnot. I want him to remember that always, right? And so it fuels the fire. It makes me work harder. And, when these guys out there tell me like, oh, just wait until you get, older in age. And when Oakley gets older, it's going to be 10 times harder. Like, you can't manage it. It's going to be way too stressful. Like, that just fuels me, right? Just like having a son made me work 10 times harder. Having haters makes me work 10 times harder as well because I want to be known as the guy that's always in shape, the guy that puts his family first. In fact, I don't even want to say that. The guy that puts himself first so his family can live a life worth living. Plain and simple. Like, I'll be the first one to say all day, I am selfish, right? I always put myself first. I'm the one that's focused on my mindset first. I'm the one that's focused on my body first, my health first. But guess what? If I'm not pouring into me, and if I'm not having, the gym time and, my reading, my meditation, and I'm not pouring into my mindset, how can I pour back out into my family? How can I raise them up? How can I help them if I'm not even willing to help myself? I love when guys tell me, oh, I'm the type of person that takes my shirt, off my back for my family first and foremost. That's great. But at the end of the day, if you're someone that's fat, lazy, out of shape, and you probably don't make any money and you probably just constantly point the finger at other people and other things in your life as to why you have those circumstances because you don't know how to take responsibility for your own actions, What is the point of taking off a shirt when it's filled with a bunch of holes, grease, dirt, dust? It's just garbage, and you're passing garbage to your family. Like, that's the reality. So like, don't say to me, oh, I have to put my family first. If you're a father figure and you're listening to this right now, right? Odds are you have the dad bod, not even a father figure. But let's just say you're a dad, right? And you're listening to this right now. You have to take responsibility for your own actions. Why? Because one, your family depends on it. Two, you have to learn how to be an asset rather than a liability. Like, think about it like this. If you're the type that's struggling to put on your morning socks and shoes in the morning and you have to suck in your breath just to do that, or, you're having a hard time getting out of your car and you're constantly tired, like, monkey see, monkey do. I'm sure you heard the phrase, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So why are you letting it be okay for your family to see you like that? And the older you get, it's just going to be harder for you. You're going to be, more deteriorating. Probably your life expectancy is going to be a lot shorter. Maybe you're going to be on all these medications and whatnot. Why live that life? Why? Because every single day that you choose to live that life, you are single-handedly giving permission to your kids that are looking up to you, saying it's okay. Like, every time that you come home from work and you feel like sitting on the couch, drinking a beer, watching Netflix, and not go for a walk, you're giving permission to your kids that, hey, it's okay to be lazy. It's okay to be out of shape. It's okay to not prioritize your health. And maybe this is why over 46% of the U.S. population is considered fat, obese, overweight. Why literally like 1/4 of the people out there struggle with high blood pressure. Why is that? It's because we are lacking in today's society men. It's a dying breed, right? And I encourage you and challenge you, think about the days of like being a Spartan, or think about the days of like World War II with the draft. Like, hey, you're going out to war. No ifs, ands, or buts. Think about the guys that's on the Titanic. Hey, at the end of the day, they know they're going to die, right? But hey, maybe the last thing that they want to see was their family, and their wife and kids getting onto the boats. So they had to do what they had to do, right? Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. And it's like, what if we in today's society had that mentality of like every single day we're going out to war? Just like, the people that's literally going out there fighting for our countries. What if every single day we have that mentality of going out to war? And if you were going to go out to war right now, would you survive? Would you be physically fit? Would you be mentally prepared? And that's a hard pill to swallow, but here's the reality. Is that instead of you living this Amazon Prime life where, hey, I can have everything tomorrow, I'm just going to wait for, the sky to turn green for me to, start investing into my health and focusing on improving my life. Guess what? Like, you need to have the mentality of a shark, always moving forward. Sharks can't swim backwards or they're going to die. You need to have the mentality of a lion. You need to have the mentality of a wolf and somebody that's going to go above and beyond. And the reason why is because if you don't, like, your kids are going to follow through in your footsteps. That's the reality. You can't save anybody, but what you can do is make sure that you're either helping somebody by your actions rather than hurting somebody by your actions. So my challenge to you is really this. Every time you point the finger at somebody or something as to why your life sucks, is in a shambles, realistically think you have 3 fingers pointing right back at you. And what I want you to do is start taking ownership. Start taking action. Make a commitment to yourself that you're going to start living life, right? You're going to start thriving rather than surviving. And most importantly, you're going to start to lead by example. And sometimes that means that you have to go to hell in order to make it to heaven. Sometimes that means that you have to go into the trenches. You have to go out to war to make the path clear for your family, especially your kids. Especially for your kids. Because at the end of the day, if you're the type of person that's constantly taking your shirt off for your family, and that shirt is filled with nothing but just garbage, diabetes, high blood pressure, laziness, what is the point of doing that? Because all you're doing is making it known to your family, especially your kids, that it's a-okay to live that life in today's generation. And once again, maybe that's why in today's society We are lacking it as men, right? It's a dying breed. So I challenge you, go above and beyond. Start taking action. Your life depends on it as well as your family does. Plain and simple. Start being an asset rather than a liability. Peace out, Girl Scout.